Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Forward Line. I am back this week with Find My Pattern. This is something that I do every few times a year maybe, where people send in suggestions of things that, well, not suggestions, things that they're looking for. So this could be a ready to wear item that they've seen in a shop, something they've seen on TV and films, and I try and hunt the pattern out for them. It's something I really love doing. I should do it a bit more often. It does take quite a bit of time, but we also get quite a lot of emails on a daily basis with people asking for help. Anyway, I'm going to get going because I've got some really nice things to talk you through. So the first pattern that I've got sent is from Carla. She sent me a couple of images. You can see from the picture I'm showing you, a sort of kind of very pretty summer tea dress style pattern with buttons down the front. I did quite a lot of searching and I think I found a good match. So what I will do is, once I've shown you the picture of the what they're looking for, I'll then show you full screen with what I found next to the original. So the dress that I found is a Simplicity 8846. This comes in sizes 10 to, oh, very confusing sizes here, 10 to 18 I think. And then, oh no, 10 to 18 in the smaller sizing, and then 16 to 26 in the other size banding. I thought this was pretty close, I have to say. It's got the band underneath the bust, which the dress had. It's got all this sort of vintage detailing. The only thing that is different I can see is that the V-neck on the Simplicity one is not as deep as the one that Carla sent over, but I think you could easily make that deeper if you wanted to, but I hope that is a good match for the first one. I was quite pleased with that one. I will say also, I've got two patterns at the end that really stumped me, so stay tuned and I need your help because I couldn't find them, and maybe you guys, because we all, you know, you're pattern ninjas too, so you can help. The next pattern I got was two images from Trisha. It's a designer that she really likes, and she likes the big sleeve that she's very in at the moment, lots of detail and like little frills and seams and stuff. So the pattern that I found, which I thought was a kind of not perfect, but I think would be a really good starting point, especially to get the same sort of feel, was the Vogue 9076. This comes in sizes 6 to 22. I thought this was perfect because it's got the, you can see from the middle one, view B, it's got a puff sleeve. I think if you wanted to make this more dramatic like the one in the picture, it would be very easy to do. You just slash into the sleeve pattern and make it more full. So, but the potential to do that is already there. It's got all the sort of gathering underneath the bust. It's got a low V, which both of the images have got. It's got a little collar as well, like this, like the blouse has got. I just thought this would be a kind of good kind of starting point to get you that sort of look. And a lot of this I feel with this designer is particularly in the fabrication, the beautiful floral. So Trisha just needs to go and find some amazing Liberty cotton lawns in loads of different, like quite a dense pattern, and I reckon you could easily create this. The dress, I will say, is a tiered dress of ruffles, but I think again that is really easy to create. You can just work out the length of the skirt, split up the skirt into panels, and then add excess to make so that you can gather. There is a what is the traditional? It's like 50% is for a classic gather, so 50% extra. So whatever the width is of the skirt panel, if you add a 50%, that will make it really full. And you can do 30% if you want a little bit less gather. But if you work like that, you'll get, I think, this look. So yeah, good starting point, I thought, this one for Trisha. The next pattern I've got is from Carolina, who sent me this. I'm sorry, the image of these is a bit blurred. I think it's taken from TV. So it's this really lovely wrap sort of, it was hard to tell whether, it looked to me like it's made out of wool or a very thick jersey, probably wool now I'm looking back at it. I spent quite a lot of time trying to find the perfect pattern, and I don't think I've got the perfect one, but I think I've got a really good starting point. So the pattern that I chose is Simplicity 8990. This comes in sizes 6 to 24. The reason that I chose this is because I think this would be a really good starting point to get to the shape that you wanted. So this pattern, the picture of this, it looks like it goes over the shoulder and then it's square cut at the back, almost a bit like a sailor's top. So if you use the Simplicity as a base, you could then, because there's so much excess on this pattern over the shoulder areas, I think you could cut the shape down and kind of create a very similar look. Also shorten it and make it in it would look amazing in a boiled wool. I think you could also make this in a jersey. And it also has a belt option in the Simplicity pattern, which you could have, or you could use, like in this image, a leather belt as well to style it. So I thought, not perfect, but I hope, Caroline, that's a really good starting point for you to get kind of cracking on making this, because it's such a nice shape and I can see why you'd like it. And also perfect for winter. It's kind of like a house jacket. Yeah, really lovely. So next up we have got this beautiful toast dress from Charlotte. I have also been looking at this dress and ogling over it. Sorry, I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. It's so beautiful. They release, Toast always do kind of have some classic shapes they release each winter, and this is one of their shapes. So I know this dress quite well, and as soon as I saw it I thought of a really fantastic option. So it's got, the toast dress is quite loose fitting, it's got busts at the dart, and then it's a pleated skirt. Now the pleating goes the whole way around on this, so the slightly difference with the pattern that I pick is the pleating, you'd need to tweak the pleating a bit, but I think a really good base. So the pattern that I have chosen, sorry my laptop is here because otherwise there's no way I'd remember all this stuff, is the Sissy Dress from Homer and Howells. This comes in sizes 6 to 24. It's pretty close, I have to say. The only thing is, if you wanted to change it and have completely pleated around the front, that would be quite a simple tweak. You just need to add some excess in, and it would be a case of like having a bit of a fiddle around and extending the waistline, but it's not a kind of, it feels like it might be a scary thing to do, but in terms of tweaking a pattern, it's quite a simple tweak. Or you could just leave it as it is, because I really like the kind of quite big dramatic pleats. But I like it because it's also loose fitting like the toast one, so I thought that was a really good option for Charlotte. So I hope that's a good starting point for you and your winter wardrobe, and you can save yourself loads of money because the ones from Toast are about a few £100. So yes, right, the next pattern I've got is from Billy, who sent me this picture. It's an ASOS kind of shacket, which is a shirt mixed with a jacket. In this sort of, it looks like a sort of chenille, kind of chenille velour fabric. So again, a lot of this will be the fabrication. The pattern that I chose was the Friday Pattern Company Unisex Ilford jacket. So I thought this was a really good base. What I would suggest doing with this, because the ASOS one looks quite oversized, is sizing up. Or if you want it quite fitted around the shoulders, you could very easily extend it at the side seams to make it look more oversized. But this jacket, I haven't said what size it comes in. Oh, okay. It comes in sizes UK 6 to 28, and there's men's sizing, which is extra small to 4 times extra large as well. So there's a really good size range on this. There are 2 options as well, so there's the shorter jacket and the longer jacket. I think if you use a kind of amalgamation of the 2, you definitely get the feel of this, because the shorter jacket's got the pockets on the breast and it's got the big patch pockets, which looks very similar to the ASOS one. So I hope, Billy, that's like a good sort of starting point for you. Right, next we've got, sorry, more tea, I need loads of tea today. An image from Alison, who sent something that she'd found on Pinterest. So she said she absolutely adored the cut of the top of the dress, but she also said, which I totally agree with, I don't want it to be open at the back because I want to wear a bra like most people. So I think I can get you this pattern, but it means mashing two together. So for the top half, I have chosen the Axis dress from Paper Cut Patterns. This I thought was pretty darn close in terms of the shape. You could make it, extend the straps a little bit if you wanted to make it slightly lower cut, but it's got that square top straps. It also doesn't have a low back like Alison asked for, so I thought that would be a perfect top. So there's a seam line at the bust, at the waist, so you just make the top half of this. Then it would be extremely easy if you wanted to just to add panels of gathering, which you could work out yourself. It wouldn't be a huge deal, but if you wanted another pattern to work with because you're concerned, I thought that the what's it called, the Nova midi dress from Style Arc would work perfectly, because you've got the 3 tiers of gathering and it's all worked out for you, so you don't need to do that yourself. So if you put skirt on the Axis, I think they make a perfect combination. So I hope, Alison, that's a sort of good starting point for you. Right, Janine sent me this absolutely gorgeous image, which she, a friend of hers is getting married and she wants to make her wedding dress. This one was actually, I thought was going to be quite easy, and it was a real challenge. I don't think I've got it perfect, but I've got 2 options, Janine, which I think would be good starting points. So the first option is the McCall's 8037. I picked this one because it's got the tight sleeves, which is very similar to the image. It's got it's extremely low cut. It comes down sort of well below where your bra line would be, and it's close fitting. So that, I thought, if you want to amalgamate the two, the top of this would be a quite good sort of starting point. The skirt is different. So on Janine's version, it looks like it's a wrap skirt with a big slit up, and there's a slit on this as well. So I thought it kind of had the feel. It's definitely not perfect. The other option, which I feel, now I'm looking at them together, might be slightly better as a starting point. It's the Magnolia dress from Deer and Doe. This is not wrapped, but I think it would be easier to make wrapped than the McCall's pattern. It does have a... Oh, it is wrapped, isn't it? Yes, maybe this is the one to go for. Sorry, you know when you're hunting for so long and you sort of forget what you're talking about. Yeah, maybe this is the better one to say, actually, because it's got the slit at the front, and you could make, if you wanted to, the front kind of cut lower. But I think this might be a better, either one of those 2 I think would be really good starting points. So I hope, Janine, that's useful. Up next we have got, Alex sent me this picture of Betty wearing a beautiful sort of dress coat. I love this. I thought it was so beautiful. I did quite a bit of hunting, and I've got 2 options which I hope you'll find useful starting points. So the first one is the Juliet coat pattern from By Hand London. I thought this had a lot of the feel of this. It's got that oversized collar, it's got a big button, it's quite voluminous at the back. I know that Alex said that she wanted to have a tab on the back of the coat, but it would be extremely easy to kind of add that on yourself. So that to me felt like a good sort of starting point. The other one that I thought would also be another good starting point is the Simplicity 9015. So this again has that big collar. It's a different shape. You just need to alter the collar shape on it a bit. But it kind of had that sort of swing coat feel. It has less volume in it, which is why in the actual kind of body of the coat. So that's why I put it in, because I thought it might be useful to have one that's slightly slimmer fitting. Right, next up, I got 2 emails virtually showing the same item. And so Ruth and Florence asked me to find this a blouse with a really massive collar, which is everywhere on the high street, and the collar also has a little ruffle going the entire way around it. Yeah, these are everywhere on the high street and on dresses on the high street. So I did a lot of searching. Now I haven't got a pattern that you can get just yet, but Nina Lee Patterns, I'm going to show you the picture that she posted on Instagram. This was a sneak peek of a pattern that she's got coming soon. So I contacted her because I was like, we need to know when we can get our hands on this, because this is absolutely perfect. So she wrote back and she said she thinks it's going to be about a month from now. So Ruth and Florence, if you can hang on for a month, this little beauty can be yours. And Nina does fantastic patterns, so I think it's definitely worth waiting for. Right, I hope you found that good. So I've got 2 patterns that really foxed me, and I'm opening it up to you guys, my fellow pattern sleuths, and whether you can help find these. So the first one is from Uwa, and she sent me this absolutely beautiful beautiful dress, and it's from Jasper Conran, and it's gorgeous. And I looked everywhere and I just couldn't find anything like this with all the pleats. If I'm being brutally honest, I would say that it's a couture dress, just looking at the fabrication. But if anyone has got any suggestions for that beautiful pleated panel at the front, please let us know, because we'd love to hear. Also, I will say, if you've got any other suggestions for the things that I've already mentioned, please say, because I'm not perfect and there's definitely other options. So the more we share, the better. The other one is from Carla, which I really wanted to find, and I searched for quite a long time and I just couldn't find anything similar. It's this beautiful dress. I think she would find, have a look at vintage pattern, because I didn't go down that rabbit hole. I reckon something 70s you might find like this. But if anyone has any suggestions, these enormous sleeves and the gathered and the neckline, it's just beautiful. Such a beautiful dress. So if anyone has got any suggestions, I would love to hear them. Right, that is it from me. I hope you found that useful and helpful and enjoyable, and we will be back soon with another video. Bye!